You want to catch yourself at those times when you're feeling that stuff. You want to do the brain retraining then, right there on the spot. No, this is something that's very flexible, and it's something that you can really do anywhere. A lot of times we forget that we can actually affect our level of pain. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Miguel here with CFS Recovery. Today I'm going to be answering a question which is a continuation of another video I made, which is up here, the #1 brain retraining exercise that helped me recover. Now, a lot of people ask me, when is the best time to use these brain retraining exercises? How often should I do them? And how long should I do them for? Those are pretty much the three main questions I get asked all the time. And it's a really great question. And I think in this video, I'm gonna go a little bit deeper into that brain retraining and answer those questions. Well, I'll tell you a little story. When I got out of the hospital, I had been sick for about 5 years. I got out of the hospital and I was slowly walking again. I was back out into the real world. So of course, I was pushing my body a little bit more than I was used to for the past year. Because keep in mind, I had been bedridden for 8 months. After 8 months, I was in the hospital, then they released me, and I learned all the brain retraining stuff, and I was able to go into the real world. Now, I was still feeling a lot of symptoms when I got out of the hospital. And it's not like it just went away overnight. It's not like I just did a bunch of brain retraining in the hospital, and then as soon as I got out, I was completely normal. No, there was still a lot of stuff that I had to deal with leaving the hospital. So brain retraining is actually an ongoing thing. It never really stops, never really ends. Really, it comes down to being aware of what you're feeling physically and mentally. So you always got to catch your thoughts, catch your thinking patterns. Whenever you're thinking negative, whenever you're starting to worry, whenever you're feeling anxious, you want to catch yourself in those thoughts. And even something as simple as redirecting your thoughts to something else, that's a form of brain retraining. That's changing the pathways in your brain. So let's say you're going down one path and it's going down a set path. So it's used to just being on autopilot, going down some negative pathway or negative thinking or constant worrying. Well, you actually changing that path of those thoughts is technically a form of brain retraining. Now it becomes even more powerful when you're feeling physical symptoms. So you just want to catch yourself feeling these symptoms, whether it's a headache or your skin is burning or you're getting aches everywhere. You want to catch yourself at those times when you're feeling that stuff, and you want to do the brain retraining then, right there on the spot. So for me, it didn't really matter where I was. I could be sitting in the back of a car, being driven somewhere, and have a little bit of a headache. I would close my eyes for just 1 or 2 minutes, really, that's all it took, and do that brain retraining exercise of having the pain centers glowing and then having them dim down and having the pain slowly go away. So other times I would be at a mall with my girlfriend and she would be shopping for something, and me just walking around the mall would make me start feeling some symptoms. So I would sit down, close my eyes 1, 2, even 3 minutes, and do that exercise. And it was a constant thing going on throughout the day. This is not something that you have to schedule in your calendar and make sure you sit down and find a quiet place, make sure you're all locked in and everything has to be perfect around you. No, this is something that's very flexible, and it's something that you can really do anywhere. Maybe you're waiting in a parking lot, waiting to pick someone up. Maybe you're waiting for the microwave to go down 2 minutes. This is something you could do very easily when you're in that stage. Now, the interesting thing is a lot of times we forget that we can actually affect our level of pain. So for me, I would actually forget it all the time. I'd be sitting there or lying there with a headache or having some tension in my head after I got out of the hospital. Every time I would try to expand my activities, my body would need that adjustment period where I would feel symptoms, and I would forget that I actually had these tools at my disposal. So all of a sudden it would click, then I would remember, and that's when I would actually start applying that stuff. You know, it wasn't perfect. I wasn't doing it every single time I had pain. I would do it when the pain got to that point of being, you know, very annoying and I wanted to get rid of it. That's when I would practice it the most. And in the beginning, you're going to be doing it a lot more, versus down the road when you start getting a little bit better and you start feeling less symptoms, you won't actually need to do it that much because you won't feel the need to do it. If you can carry on your daily life and there's some minor symptoms here and there, those will eventually go away. It's also very important, the mental aspect of dealing with symptoms. So when you feel symptoms, my automatic response for about 5 years was to start worrying, get anxious, start thinking of what could happen next, or wondering if this is gonna snowball into a huge crash. And that really did me no good. So every time I would have physical or psychological symptoms like worrying, anxiety, fear, I would try to solve it right away and attack it head on if it was really bothering me. If it was something that was just kind of lingering in the background, then, it didn't bother me too much, and I would just do whatever I was doing during the day. So that's a huge thing too, is remembering that you actually have this tool at your disposal. And like I said in my previous video, it's not gonna work right away, and the pain isn't gonna go away over a short period of time. It's gonna take a few weeks or months. For me, honestly, it took me about 18 to 24 months. So a year and a half to 2 months to really get rid of the pain and actually live like completely normal and not have any symptoms at all. I was getting a few headaches here and there. I was staring at a screen quite a bit. That was one of the things that would trigger some burning sensations in my head. Same with palpitations, but you wanna use the brain retraining for those lingering things. If you're getting like palpitations, you can't really do brain retraining to get rid of that because it goes by so fast. Like, it happens in a split second, and before you know it, it's gone. You want to do the brain retraining for stuff that's lingering throughout the day, that's really bothering you or annoying you, or you find it's hindering your recovery. So for me, it was the headaches, it was the burning sensation all over my body and over my head, and it was the worrying of what was going to happen next and if I was going to keep going downhill. Because if you've watched my other video right up here, I talk about how when you're recovering and you're on the right path, then you're going to recover, then your body's going to dip a little bit, then you're going to recover, then you're going to dip a little bit, and then you're going to recover and dip a little bit. It's not going to be a perfect straight line to recovery. So just keep that in mind. When you do have those dipping periods, it's it's extremely crucial that you do those brain retraining exercises or go down a different thinking route or a different thinking pattern and just not be stuck in that same negative cycle of worrying, and then that leads to more symptoms, and then that leads to more worry, which leads to more symptoms, and it's just like a snowball. So you want to cut that right in its path and stop that anxiety loop and that fear loop, because that's what's going to keep you in the same place. Instead, do the brain retraining exercises for any physical pain that you're having. And you won't remember every single time you have pain. There are going to be times when you're going throughout your day, you've been dealing with this, let's call it a headache, for a few hours, and then you remember, you know what, man, I had this brain retraining tool in my back pocket. Let me go use that. It's not gonna be perfect, but at the end of the day, take it day by day, pace yourself. Don't expect change to happen overnight. Like I said, it's been shown that most people need to be doing the brain retraining activities for 4 to 6 weeks with seeing minimal, if not any results, for you to see impact. So a lot of people, they'll try it for half a day, or they'll try it like 2 or 3 times and they won't see any difference at all. And they'll ask, oh, why is it not working? Well, it's because you didn't do it properly. You didn't stick with it. You weren't consistent with the brain retraining. So it's something that you constantly got to do, and do it multiple times a day. It doesn't mean you have to do it for 5 or 10 or even 15 minutes in a day. Do it for like 30 seconds or a minute. Even 2 minutes, right? It doesn't have to be this crazy thing that you have to schedule around. Just do it as you're going throughout your day. Hope this video helps. I hope that clears a lot of things up. If you have any questions, I actually started an Instagram page called CFS Recovery specifically for this type of content, where I'll be posting more. So make sure you go follow that, because I'm gonna be posting stuff on there that I don't post on YouTube, and it's a way we can interact a lot easier. I'll be having questions there. I'll be going live, and it's a way to just interact one-on-one. And I'm actually thinking of doing one-on-one coaching, because I've been getting a lot of people asking if that's something I can do, but I can take on, right now I'm limiting it to 5 clients I can work with one-on-one. So if that's something you're interested in, then let me know. You can apply at the website. It's in the link below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure to subscribe, comment down below. Have a great day.